The young woman stopped at the checkpoint, her boots clicking softly against the concrete floor. Two guards blocked the entrance to the operations room, their faces hard and unwelcoming. One of them lifted a hand, his tone sharp. "Hold it, you can't go in there." Every head turned. The air in the corridor stilled, heavy with tension and silent authority. The woman didn't move, didn't argue. She simply looked at the guard with calm, steady eyes that carried a weight he didn't yet understand. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who is listening." She'd arrived unannounced, in a plain field uniform, with no visible insignia. Dust clung to her shoulders, and her duffel bag bore the faint scratches of a long journey. To the guards, she was just another recruit, maybe a technician or an aide, someone who didn't belong past that steel door. But beneath her sleeve, hidden from view, was a single silver badge, the emblem of command. Her name was Colonel Amelia Hart, the youngest commanding officer ever assigned to Raven Base, a post that had chewed up and broken 3 commanders before her. She knew the rumors, that she'd only gotten the post because of politics, that she didn't have the field scars or the toughness the soldiers respected. She'd heard worse before. The guard frowned. "Ma'am, that's a restricted area. It's authorized personnel only." Amelia's voice was quiet, but there was something unshakable in it. "And who decides that?" The second guard straightened, uncertain. "The base commander, ma'am." A small smile touched her lips. "Good, then I'll have to speak with myself." A flicker of confusion passed across their faces, then disbelief. But before either man could react, the heavy doors behind them slid open, and a colonel in full uniform stepped out, his expression shifting from irritation to shock the instant he saw her. "Colonel Hart," he stammered. "You, ... Yeah, weren't supposed to arrive until tomorrow." The guards froze. One slowly lowered his weapon, his posture stiffening with embarrassment. The silence that followed was thick enough to cut through. Amelia didn't scold, didn't gloat. She simply nodded to the men blocking her path. "It's all right. You were doing your job." But what came next would test more than just protocol. It would test every assumption they'd made about leadership. Inside the operations room, the air buzzed with stress. Maps and digital displays filled the walls, tracking a live extraction mission gone wrong. A recon unit had lost contact deep in hostile terrain. Men in charge, all older, all louder, were arguing over data like generals in a chess match. No one noticed the quiet figure stepping into the room until her voice broke through. "What's your extraction window?" Heads turned. Confusion again, then realization. The youngest among them stood up. "Ma'am, this is a closed tactical." "I asked," she repeated, her voice level. "What's your extraction window?" The officer hesitated, then answered, 5 minutes before nightfall, ma'am." She studied the map, her finger tracing the terrain lines, eyes sharp, calculating. "Then pull them out now. You'll lose them before dark." The senior colonel frowned. "With respect, ma'am, that's a risky call. We don't have enough coverage." Amelia met his gaze, unblinking. "It's riskier than sending 12 men home in body bags." The room fell silent. Then, slowly, orders began to shift. Communication officers scrambled, adjusting coordinates. The room, once loud with disagreement, moved like a single machine under her command. Minutes later, a voice crackled through the comms, faint but alive. "This is Echo 3. We have visual. Extraction confirmed." Relief hit the room like a wave. Shoulders dropped. Someone whispered, "She saved them." But Amelia didn't smile. She just nodded once, quietly, and stepped back. As the adrenaline faded, she felt the sting of every doubt she'd carried here. She hadn't wanted this command, not like this. But she'd taken it because someone had to prove that leadership wasn't about age or medals or gender. It was about responsibility. It's about protecting those who still believed in something greater than themselves. Later, when the day's chaos subsided, she found the 2 guards still at their post. They straightened the moment they saw her. "Colonel Weir, sorry for earlier." She shook her head. "Don't be. You were right to stop me. That's what discipline looks like. Never lose it." Then, softer, "But next time, ask for ID before you raise your voice." They smiled awkwardly, and for the first time, she smiled too. The next morning when she entered the mess hall, every soldier stood as she passed. The base, once divided and doubtful, now followed her with a quiet kind of loyalty that can't be ordered. It has to be earned. because respect isn't demanded. It's revealed in the moments when no one's watching, when doing the right thing means standing alone, somewhere between the silence of that first hold it and the salute that came after. They all learned that lesson together. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. She had walked into the base as an outsider, but she would leave as its heartbeat. If this story moved you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Whispered Words, where stories of courage, justice, and redemption come to life. And tell me in the comments where you were watching from. I love hearing your story too.